All right, in today's video, I was kind of thinking about some just NLP questions, like where to start the journey, like some of the things you need to ask yourself when you're at the beginning. If you aren't really aware of where to start, if you're not really aware that much of what the journey entails. So I was just thinking of some questions that are like the basis of it, like the start of it. Like, what do you truly want to achieve? Like, we all got to have like an aim, a goal, a passion, or at least something we want to do with our lives, or something we want to do in our lives. But sometimes we don't even ask ourselves those questions. We kind of just like Dean likes to say, dabble with it. We don't really. We have an idea. We like have wishy-washy things of what it is we might want to do if we had money, if we had this, if we had that. Like they're like, but we never really put a true focus on it. And I feel like that's what NLP does. Is it kind of asks you questions to get to know yourself better, put a better understanding of your goals, of your beliefs, of what's stopping you, and then but you also got to know what it is that you want to achieve. Like what are the things I want to do with my life. Like for years I would sit there and I had all these wishy-washy ideas, and I never really like got serious. Like, yeah, it would be nice if I could do this, it would be nice if I could do that, but I never really put like a concrete aim or a concrete focus of what it is that I wanted to do until now. And I'm still like kind of getting clear, because you got to have clarity of where you want to go. You can't just put I want to go somewhere in a GPS. You're not going to end up anywhere. You have to at least have that goal, that aim of what it is you want to do. So for me, it's I want to get better at speaking. I want to get better at making content. I want to get better at helping other people realize their dreams, because we can all find a path to them, but we have to start somewhere. And sometimes the mountain looks so daunting that we don't know where to start, because we think, how the hell are we going to get to the top of that mountain? And it's so daunting looking up at it that you're like, holy crap, how am I going to get up there? So and so you never take a think. You're like, there's no way I can get up there. At least that's the way I used to be. I was like, there's no way I can do all this. There's way too much to do. And I feel like when you got to simplify and take one step at a time, take one, idea at a time and one focus at a time. So for me, the first thing was to get on here and start doing videos. So my first, like, I don't know, 20 videos was just me getting on camera and just trying to talk. Now that I've gotten so many in, now I'm starting to kind of do a little bit of research and kind of get some more ideas. I still like to come on here and talk and just, see what comes up. Like I kind of am now. I have a goal, I have an aim, I have some ideas, but I don't really know what I'm going to say. I kind of get on here and just go with whatever, comes out in the moment. And I used to be so scared of that, because I'd always think, I don't even know what to say when I do it. So I wouldn't do it, because I didn't know what I was going to say. And I was like, how do all these people get up there and just go? And now it's just, you just got to do it. You just got to practice it. Because the more that you do it, the more that you continue to push yourself past the uncomfortableness, the more you're able to get comfortable with it. And I still get uncomfortable even in the moments when I am doing these videos. But I'm better at reeling myself back in and being in this present moment and focusing in on what it is I'm trying to teach. And it helps me relax in this moment. And I feel like when you're in a relaxed state, it helps that energy and that, focus go. Because when you're like nervous and you're in an anxiety state, you're like, oh my God, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? Are they going to do that? So you're always like, and then you can't really do anything. And that used to be me. So again, anything that we do, it's learning how to focus in the moment and do it with grace and do it with calmness. And always remember that we can always calm ourselves down. So, and that's why I always stress meditation so much, because it's helped calm me down so much that when I do find myself in those stressful situations where I don't know what I'm going to do, or I'm anxious, or I'm that, and again, I still get triggered and I still am a human being, but I'm getting better at, okay, relax, take a deep breath, let's just go and see what happens. So that's what I'm doing now. But you also got to have an aim, which is what the first one was doing before I went off on a tangent here. But so that's kind of what the first one is. What do you truly want to achieve? What are your passions? What do you want to do? And then also, you also have to look at what's stopping you from achieving your goals. I mean, all those things I just kind of talked about, that's what was stopping me. Wanted to be perfect, not knowing what I was going to teach, not knowing what I was going to say, not having the self confidence to do it. I had to overcome the self doubt that I could get on here and do it. And like, there were so many things where before in the past I'd be like, oh, I'll do it when I'm ready, and I did, but it also kept me from getting prepared and getting ready, because again, I didn't take the necessary steps I needed to get on here and do it, because I was always thinking that I'd have to be perfect before I got on here. And then when I learned that no, you just got to do it, and then like Dean says, you just got to jump and grow wings on the way down. So I was like, all right, I just got to get on here and start saying something, because I'm not going to get comfortable. Anything we do in life, when we haven't done it before, it's going to be uncomfortable unless you're a natural at it. Some people are naturals, most people are not. So again, it's just, I get it. But at the end of the day, you're uncomfortable because you've never done it before. The first retreat I went on, I think I told the story before. When I got there, I wanted to turn around and go home because I didn't know what to expect because I'd never done it before. So my being was nervous. But yet, when I forced myself to stay there and finish it, it was one of the best experiences of my life. So it was, and I feel like sometimes that's it. It's like sometimes I feel like we're afraid. At least me, I was afraid of success sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like backing off, backing off, backing off. But yet, uh, what if I win? What if I succeed? Then what do I do? Hmm, that's a weird thought, you know? So like sometimes even like the fear of actually going the way that you want to is also there. So again, these are all the things that I had to overcome to understand that it's not going to be perfect. You can strive to be better, is the way I like to look at it. But maybe like Dan Millman used to say, like perfect moments, like we hit perfect moments where we achieve something where you get a 10 out of 10, a gymnast or whatever in gymnastics get a 10 out of 10. How many times do they not get a 10 out of 10? But they did get that one or two or three or whatever, how many they did. But it's being in those moments and being perfect and letting go of all that and focusing in the moment on what you're doing. And that's what it is. Worried about what's going to happen tomorrow and worried about what's already happened. I mean, it stops you. It takes some of the energy out of the present moment. And when you can learn to focus in on what you're doing right now, because no matter what I do, right now I'm doing this video and whatever's going on outside these walls, I don't have control over right now. The only thing I have control over right now is me talking to you. I don't have control over what's going to happen in 20 minutes when I'm done, or maybe a little less, a little more. I don't. Whatever happened before I got on here and did it is over. So again, you got to focus in on where you're at and take care of what you can in every moment, and that's how I think you get to the top of the mountain is you take care of the journey every day. And it's not going to be pretty all the time, but it's going to be pretty interesting if you keep at it and keep going. I mean, I get on here and see what the hell comes on and see what I'm talking about. I didn't have any idea if this is where this was going to go, but it's interesting. But if I would have not gotten over the fear of getting on here and being uncomfortable, then I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So that's the thing in life is that sometimes we got to face those things that make us uncomfortable until we become comfortable and then find something else that makes us uncomfortable. Like I'm gonna have to do lives eventually. I'm gonna have to do like maybe masterminds eventually, or and all that stuff makes me a little nervous. But you know what? Doing this right now will get me prepared for when I get to that point. Because again, it's all about growth. It's all about one step at a time and doing the best you can in every moment. And if it doesn't work out, well, then you kind of go back and see how can I do something different. Some of these videos in the beginning, I was really nervous. And then I had to keep telling myself, like I was saying, like relax into the moment. When you're getting a little anxious, focus. Like I've mentioned before, like when I was playing softball, I used to get when it was like bases loaded, nobody out. I would sit there and tell myself, all right, relax, focus, and breathe. Relax, focus, and play. And I would keep telling myself that with my eyes closed in between pitches, and it would help me. Now, again, like I said, nothing's 100%, but it would help me a lot of the times be able to let go of that anxiety and make plays. I mean, there was even a time we had bases, nobody out, and it was the bottom of the seventh inning. It was a tie game, and we got out of it and won the next inning. And two of the balls were hit to me at third, and I just threw them home and got the two guys out, and the next guy popped out. And it was just crazy. It was crazy. They were so mad. But anyway, so it was like, it helped me focus in those moments. So I feel like we can do that in anything, like before you got to do something anywhere. And I feel like test anxiety, like focus, man, like just relax. Like I think Colby Bryant said it, like, if I'm nervous, then it means I'm not prepared. So make sure, like, if you mess up on a test, well, then, hey, you know what? Did I do what I needed to do? I mean, I took a look at myself the way I got kicked out of Central twice. What did I do? I did not focus on the moment. I partied all the time. And then when I said, you know what, I got to get my stuff done first and get prepared, then I started. Then I was able to graduate from Oakland. So again, it's all about what you do. Take inventory of what it is, but you also got to have goals. You also got to have an aim, and figure out the things that are stopping you. I partied too much. It was stopping me, but it didn't. It didn't stop me in the end because I did. I told myself when I went back, I was going to do whatever it took, and I was like, no matter what, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this done. That's the number one thing I'm going to do right now. And then when people tried to get me to go out, nope. People tried to get me to do things, nope. Got to study. And I said I got myself into this mess by being irresponsible, by not doing the stuff I needed to do. Well, now it's up to me to make that change. Take ownership of what you've done. And because again, the only way you're going to learn in life is to take ownership of what you've done and then try to move forward and be better. And if you have to, in instances, apologize for what you've done. I mean, we're humans, man. We make mistakes. And most of the time, when you make a mistake, if you apologize for it and you're sincere, most people will forgive you. Most. Not every situation's the same. So again, but those are the things you need to do is take responsibility for your actions, figure out what it is you can do to be better, and then like even now with some of the stuff I'm doing that helps me achieve these things is visualizing like the impact, the strength, me being better, me doing these things, and then I see myself having impact and helping you guys because I hope that my experience, by sharing my experiences, it might hit somebody else's experience and help them do better and maybe motivate them or inspire them to do whatever it is because we're never too old or too young to do anything. And if you want to learn something, you can do it. You just got to make some sacrifices. I just had to tell people no because in my someone was asking me to go on a retreat, and I was like, I just can't do it. That's exam week. There's no way I can go. And they were upset about it, but I was like, I just can't do it. I can't throw away everything that I'm accomplished just because you want me to go on a retreat. It would have been fun. It would have been nice, but I needed to get this done. And then but back to like just seeing your like I always talk about imagination. Imagine yourself doing it. Imagine yourself completing it, and imagining how you would feel if it was already done. Because again, like I said before, the brain doesn't know the difference between an image in your mind and the image out here. And there's been tons of studies that have showed the truth. And I've seen it myself. And when I stop doing the visualizations, then stuff isn't as easy for me. And then when I get back to doing the visualizations every day, then I get back on here and start doing stuff better. And because I see myself sitting in this chair, getting stuff done, having impact on you guys, having impact on the world, and helping the world move forward into a better place where we create from the inside. Because I feel like this is the time in evolution that we need to get back to ourselves. Now that's not being selfish. That just means that we got to figure out what are we good at? What do we want to do? What is good for us? What is good for me? Because again, I'll use the analogy of the airplane. What do they tell you to do? Put your mask on first before you help somebody else. Well, I got to help myself first. I got to get on here and do the work when I'm not on here. Get on here and do the works to do in the videos, and then hopefully it has impact on you guys. So that's like three good questions to ask yourself to start. What do you want to achieve? What's your aim? What's stopping you from achieving these goals right now? And how would it make you feel to achieve these goals? So I think by starting with those three questions is a good place to start any journey to where it is you want to go. Because you got to know where you want to go, you got to know what's stopping you, and you got to know how you'd feel at the end. And when you can start to see that in your mind and start to question that in your being, and even if you don't have all these answers right away, just the mere fact of asking yourself these questions. I would even say start writing them down. Like write down the answers in whatever comes. There's no right or wrong answers. Just by paying more attention to it and writing it down, it introduces these ideas to the universe, and then the universe will collaborate with everything to get the information to you. It's just up to you to listen to it. But I feel like that's the work. That's your show of faith in the universe and God or whatever it is. And then by you showing faith and trust in that, in Him or the universe, then they'll show you the answers back. So again, like and subscribe to the video. That's my message for the day. We all can do these things. We just gotta be able to willing to start good habits and start putting the work in, and take responsibility and keep doing the best you can in every moment. All right, bye.